Hello, and shut up music. How you doing? This is the Tabletop Baseball channel. I'm your host, Tenacious Earl. If you can tell by the title, this is a league that I run called the TBL, which stands for Tenacious Baseball League. Tenacious, you can take whatever you want to from that. Really, what it's about is 10, which it means that there are 10 teams in the league. And that's about all that I really expect you to take from it. I think there may be some... You might think that maybe I think that I'm a tenacious person. That's not really... I guess I could have done with the tentacle or something like that, or the, tent meeting, or, let's see, I don't know, tender? The Tender Baseball League. That would be really great. That sounds like the opposite of tenacious. Anyway, so I've wasted about a minute here of putzing around. So we got Yankees Mets here, another installment of the Subway Series. This will be the last one for a few weeks as we round out this series. Both teams have taken a game. You got CC Sabathia, the lefty. He'll be hurling the ball there for the Yankees, and Bartolo Colon, Mr. Home Run, and a guy who, let's see, what did he do? He was at second. I remember watching him a game last year. He was at second base. A guy got a double, and I think he only made it as far as third on the play. So that's the type of thing that Colon can do for you. But hi, Mr. Lunar Bub. Greetings from the first state, if you know what that is. Derek Oxenreiter, hello. You're doing a replay of the Tenfold League. There you go. Yeah, as long as it doesn't fold. Do another replay of 27 Yanks versus 77 Yanks, only in Super Advanced. So, well, have fun with that. Yeah, we're having fun here with Super Advanced rules. I've already come out with the lineups. If you are on the Facebook page, you would have seen that I posted that last night. If you're not, then you missed out. And boo-hoo for you. Now, the real thing that would be a shame is if we roll this and we get bad and it rains out. But let's see. It's a 9, so it's not bad. It's average conditions, which in Citi Field means that the ballpark singles are going to be few and far between. 1 to 11 for the home runs from each side, so that's not too bad, and we will get going. No reason, well, there's one reason to hesitate, and that would be for me to get something to swig on while I'm rolling this game out, so bear with me as I indulge myself in a cold, tasty beverage. So as you can see here for the Yankees, now I feel like the Yankees lineup is a little bit better in this one, so we'll see if they come out on top. I don't know. Colon may be better at pitching than Sabathia at this point in their careers. Let's take a look. Colon, 3.43 ERA, 15-8. Good record last year. How about Sabathia? 3.91. Of course, that could be ballpark related as well. But Sabathia pitches in Yankee Stadium, and the left-handed hitter gets a real advantage there with that short porch and right. So I don't know. And Sabathia being left would match up well against lefties. So I don't know. They're pretty even. I'd say that the lineup here today probably favors the Yankees slightly. Gardner in left, Ellsbury in center, Castro second base, Gregorius shortstop, Teixeira first, Headley third, Austin Romine because Brian McCann is out 3 games. He'll be catching. Aaron Hicks in right, and Sabathia pitching. Let's see. The Yankees had rest roll 1, which was center field and third base, and both Ellsbury and Headley were okay to go, so they're going. Gardner against Colon. Let's see what happens here in this game. 2-7. And it's a strikeout for Gardner. 2 column was a good column for him, and he found the opposite of pay dirt there. Jacoby Ellsbury. 2-2, and he will get a base on balls. Now, Cologne, -2 holding. He's -4, and then a +2 for d'Arnaud means that it's a -2. So what that means is that if a good lead is gotten, it'll be a 1-12 chance for Ellsbury. They are going to... the question is, will they hold him? I'm going to say they will. He's going to try to get a good lead here. Of course, he'll have to steal if he does. It's a 5. And so, yes, he does get the good lead with 1 out, a 5. So that makes it a 1-12 chance, 60%. And he is successful. He gets in under the tag. And so Castro, with a runner at second and 1 out, will continue his at-bat. 4-9 against a right-hander. 4-9, and that is going to be a run-scoring single for Castro. And the Yankees on the board here in the first. 1-0. And Gregorius, so now Castro, they won't hold him on. He's not likely to steal. Gregorius, he will swing away. And 6-12. Cologne cannot get injured. He's a 0 injury guy. So a lefty 6-12. And that's very likely to be another single. 1-16. And that will move Castro to second on the single 1. And so 3 straight runners reach base. And that brings up Mark Teixeira. He'll be batting from the left side. He's a switch hitter. Good to know Facebook is good for something, Derek says. Yeah, that's where you can get that information. 1-9. 1-9, and he strikes out. Second out, it's going to be Chase Headley, who could really help his team out here with an extra base hit that would potentially plate both Castro and Gregorius. There's a 6-9, batting from the left side, 6-9, ballpark home run. Ballpark home run. This is potential trouble. 1-11. It is long, but it stays in the park, and that will be a very loud final out of the inning. As Headley takes it deep, but not deep enough, and Cologne kind of outlasts the Yankees in that first inning, just as far as it could have been a lot worse. And instead, we will be going to the bottom of the first with it being only 1-0 in favor of the Bronx Bombers. All right. So my next iteration of this score sheet, I will have moved this over here. You might not be able as easily to see it, but I need to be able to see it. I have to move my card all the time for these things. So that's one adaptation. So for the Mets, we're going to go to the bottom of the first. Sabathia on the mound. The Mets that will face him: Granderson in left, Neil Walker second base, and Cabrera at shortstop. David Wright will be back at third base. Cespedes in center field. d'Arnaud catching. Eric Campbell at first. I'll tell you more about that in a second. Lagares in right field, and Cologne pitching. The Mets got rest roll 4, which is shortstop. Now, Cabrera did not need to be rested. Left fielder, which was Conforto, who did need to be rested. And then first base, which was Duda. He played the previous game, and he was injured pretty early in the season, so he had to rest. So Campbell is going to play first. We moved Granderson over to left, and we're going to play Lagares in right. I had a tough time deciding whether to use Lagares in center and move Cespedes. And I decided that I would use what the Mets used early in the season as far as their optimal configuration, which was they would use they were using Cespedes as their center fielder early on. Now that changes midway through the year, but we will stick with that for now. So Granderson, lefty-lefty against Sabathia. Not a very good matchup for the Mets to start, but Sabathia is a one injury guy, so 6'12" is his demon. 6'6" against a lefty strikes him out. That's one out. Neil Walker. So baseball demos, let's just see here. Cologne came out smelling pretty good after that. Yeah, that was a bit of a trouble spot there. Demos just got done watching the other game. Yep, and Borowick. Yep. Hello, fellas. Neil Walker. 111. Ballpark single. That is a place where D20 rolls go to die in this game because it is a 1 from either side for the ballpark single. And so that is going to be a line out to shortstop, as Walker, being a switch hitter, will bat from the right side there. And Asdrubal Cabrera also batting from the right side in this game for 7. And 1-7 single. This is a little better than the ballpark single chance. And boy, they could have used that 1 before. That would have been nice. That is a single for Cabrera. They won't hold him on. And let's see, he'll try to get a lead here. Needed a 3, he gets an 8. So that's not going to get him anywhere. And then let's see. Sabathia is a -4 hold. He's very good at holding the runner. So David Wright, not a great card, but he could. That walk in the 3 column is somewhat common. Those extra base hits there at the bottom are probably not going to happen, but we'll see. 5-9 against a righty, and he strikes out. That will clear out the first inning, as the Mets are unable to generate much off of CC. And so we will go to the second. The reason I'm playing this is that I was trying to decide whether to mow my lawn or do this, and I got a text from Tabletop Earl wondering when I was going to do it, and I don't know. I guess I convinced myself to get it. I would try to get this done earlier rather than later. Romine against Cologne. And a 3-5, he strikes him out. Romine's going to get a few games of work here. I'm not bringing up Sanchez, who I did bring up for the Yankees. I didn't bring up Gary Sanchez. I'm going to hold off a little while until, if I can help it, because I do want to try and keep a reasonable limit on at-bats or plate appearances. So I brought up Tyler Austin instead to be a pinch hitter, because in these games, the pinch hitters is, probably going to be just as important as anything for them. Like, Anthony Goes was out 2 games for Detroit. I didn't bring a guy up, and so the Tigers were using 4 guys as pinch hitters. So that's where they were handicapped there a bit. Hicks, 4-8, batting from the left side, 4-8, and that is going to be another base hit. Oh, but that is a double. Oh, and I just dropped my pen. That is a double. That was a 4-8. He gets the magic 1 roll, and Hicks will go to second. Bring up Sabathia. CC is a D-bunter, and he will, with 1 out, because he's a pitching card 1, he's still going to try to bunt over Hicks. So it's an E because they're expecting an E6. And where are my charts? Oh, they're under my book here. Okay. Sack E6. Let's see. He was batting from the left. That would have been a strikeout. Anyway, so E6. Defense. Well, what that means is that they could try to get Hicks, force him out, but instead they're or not force him out, try to throw him out, but instead they're going to take the sacrifice. 4-3, 9. Gonna play their percentages that Brett Gardner will get himself out here for the third out. But let's see. Gardner, 2 down, 1-9, and the percentages work as he grounds the ball to Cabrera, and Cabrera throws to first in time, beats the speedy Gardner, and a 0 for the Yankees in the second. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. I thought about maybe trying a little suicide squeeze there just for the heck of it. It can be fun to try things sometimes, and even if you fail. But I don't know, some people might get irritated by losing a chance at a run there. Cespedes, 2-8, a single for Cespedes to lead off. They won't hold him on. His run rating is not so great. Darno, 5-9, batting from the right side, strikes him out. Eric Campbell, reserve infielder, utility man, whatever you want to call him, 4-11 against a righty. Fly ball to right field B. That'll be the second out. Juan Lagares, 3-4. That it will be a single. There's no runner in scoring position, so that is a single for Lagares, and that will turn the lineup over. Cespedes gets to move to third base. So Colon comes to the plate with, he's got a snowball's chance here at maybe driving in the run. Here we go, 2 outs against Sabathia. 1-11. Oh, and it's a 2 on the D20. That 1-11 was the 1. But it was a 2 on the D20, so that nullifies it. And instead we need to... Yankees fans are breathing a sigh of relief. That means a potential passed ball. You need a 1 on the D20. Well, oh no. Caught a break on that. I thought I was going to lose that for a while. And it's an 8, so no passed ball, but Colon had the magic roll and the D20 busted him. So let's see. 6-4 against a righty. Catcher X. So this is going to be Romine, 3E1. They could still get out of jail free card here if somehow you get a passed ball out of this. 3 and a 14. Oh boy, and they just missed that. 14 is a pop out. Now it's a matter of on the E1 and a 7. No error, so that will be a pop out to the catcher, and the Yankees are able to survive what looked like it was going to be it could have been a double roll there, but it's the Yankees. Somehow they luck out. It's always been that way. JBL. So, Jacoby Ellsbury against Cologne. He walked and scored in the first inning. The only run, 2-2. Another walk, same roll. How about that? On the 2-2, that's pretty unlikely. So they're going to have to hold them on. They're going to hit and run with Castro. They're going to get Ellsbury moving here. It makes him a B. And a 6-7 comes off the pitcher's card. 6-7 against a righty, ground ball to second base X. second baseman there is Neil Walker. He's a 3E11. Now they're holding on Ellsbury with a right-hander at the plate, so that makes him a 4E11. Keep that in mind. 4 and 12 for the second baseman. And that'll be a G3. And then you got 13 on the E11. No error. So G3, I think that means everybody advances. Yeah, runner advances. So that'll be a 4-3. And I believe that's not a special result in the pitcher's result card now. Strikeout, walk, single, or double is the... So, runner at second, one away. Didi Gregorius. And a 3-11 against a righty. 3-11. Ground ball to second base. I believe that the runner moves up on that. Ground ball A, second, 6, and he does, yes. So we'll see if Teixeira can get a one-star single out of this. 3-8 pops up. High one that Campbell grabs, and so they leave the runner stranded at third. Still 1-0 in the Yankees' favor. Going to the bottom of the third. Baseball Demo says he needs to get back to super advanced. It's a pressure cooker in a way, but it's also it depends on how you treat it. If you I've kind of relaxed some, so it's not quite as much of a pressure cooker. It just depends on whether you treat it that way or not. If you know what I mean. It can be really intense if you let it get there. Curtis Granderson, 4-7 against a lefty, and he walks. So, leadoff base runner. They got Cespedes on in the leadoff role last time up in the last inning. Couldn't get anything out of him. Granderson with a -4 pitcher-catcher hold. That makes it pretty tough there to do anything with Granderson. They won't hold him on. Neil Walker, 6-6, batting from the right side, strikes him out. As Drupal Cabrera, they're gonna hit and run here. Need to try and get Granderson going. And it's a 1 on the D20, so that means a potential wild pitch. You need to roll a consecutive 1 here. It's an 11. Well, I got 2 1s. That should be 2 wild pitches, right? No, just kidding. So again, we'll do a hit and run, get the runner started again, and a 5-7 batting from the right, and that's a single, 2-star. Any single from the pitcher's card becomes a 2-star automatically, which makes sense because Granderson would be going on the hit and run. And so you got first and third with 1 out, and David Wright is at the plate. Cabrera, they won't hold him on. They're going to play with the infield back, double play depth, and it's David Wright. 1-6, strikes out. That's probably one of the worst rolls you could get. You don't want that double play. And Cespedes, who singled in the second, with runners at first and third. 1-11. 1-11, a ground ball to third base. 1-12. Sorry, that's a fly ball to center field deep. And Ellsbury gets that, and Sabathia, again, skates by after getting runners at first and third. And we're going to the fourth, 1-0. clarify, 1980s wasn't around 1880s. Well, I'll tell you what, the games I've played have felt a bit like dead ball, because there have been a couple of blowouts, but not too many. They've all been pretty tight ball games. There was the Angels blew out the Blue Jays one game. That was it. So Chase Headley against Cologne. Cologne's a bit upset here. 6-12 against the lefty, and Headley is probably going to get a single out of this. 1-16, and there you go, leadoff single. Cologne feels aggrieved. He's had runners on there, and they just can't hit in the clutch. So Austin Romine. Let's see, Headley. Let's see, Cologne -2. They're not going to hold him on. Let's see. Well, since they're not going to hold him on, he's going to try to get a lead. Need a 6. That's a 9, so that's not going to do it. So Romine, 111. Ballpark home run. Wait, 111. Sorry, that's the wrong side. I've gotten used to using, what's his face? Sabathia is a lefty. From the right side, against a right-handed pitcher, that's a ballpark single. So, need a 1. They can't get it. That's a line out to Cabrera, and that's the first out. First time I made that mistake today, I think. Aaron Hicks, 6'9", batting from the left side, and here's the ballpark home run. Hicks, normal power, 1-11. It is gone. 2-run home run for Aaron Hicks. 3-0 Yankees. Yankees are playing pretty well here, and Hicks takes Cologne deep. And that brings up Sabathia, 3-0. Base is clear, 1 out. 2-6 is a strikeout. Brett Gardner. .48 against a lefty, and that is another hit. Cologne getting touched up here a bit. It's a single. 2 outs. Gardner, he's definitely going to give it a try, getting the old 7. But it's a 3, so let's see. What are we going to do? Junkyard Dog. Let's see. 11 -2 is 9, and they are holding him. 1-7 chance. They're going to take. He's going to take off here. It's going to be a 1-7. It's pretty low odds, but that would lead off with Ellsbury, and most likely he's not going to score anyway. You know what? We're talking. I'm talking myself out of it. Here comes Ellsbury. 3-7, a 1-6 single. 15 right there would have been your D20 roll probably. That's a line out to second base, and that ends the inning. Sometimes I like to be aggressive in those situations, and that would have been very aggressive. But I wouldn't want an aggrieved Yankees fan to tell me that I blew their game up because I stole on a 35% chance. But not that it really makes that much of a difference in the long run anyway, probably, but Darno. But if it did, then 2-8, ground ball to short. Gregorius throws to Teixeira, and that is the first out. Eric Campbell. 1-4 ballpark single. He needs a 1 on the D20, and he gets a 16, so that is a line out. 2 Gregorius for the second out. Juan Lagares. And 4-4 against a righty. Ground ball to short. Gregorius 1E16. And 1-5 won't be a problem. Now the question is, and I believe an 11 on a 16 is going to be just fine. And it is. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're going to go to the top of the fifth. Whoops. 3-0 Yankees. And Cologne, what is his rating here? He's a 6-inning starter. We're probably going to only let him go to 27 batters in this case. Keep having the Strat PC game. I look at the number of pitches, and these guys are racking up way too many. Castro, of course, that's just a simulation, but 310 and a single for Castro. He is 2 for 3. Didi Gregorius. They're not going to hold on. Castro. 3-5. Pops out to the second baseman. Walker, 1 down. Mark Teixeira. 4-7. Batting from the left side. 1-10 single. 14. That's a ground ball B, so it'll be 3-6. Fielder's choice, Teixeira. They won't hold him on. Not much of a stealer. We're just going to move on here. Headley. 6-12. Batting from the left. Again, boy, this is another. I think this is the second time. Wait a second. 1-10 single. 14. That's a ground ball B, so it'll be 3-6. Fielder's choice, Teixeira. They won't hold him on. Not much of a stealer. We're just going to move on here. Headley. 6-12. There was a 1 on the D20, so so the 1 is the wild pitch, and so Cologne doesn't have a wild pitch rating, so instead we just keep going here with Headley. I just want to confirm, caught that out of the corner of my eye, so 5-11 against a lefty. And a ballpark home run. This has not been kind to Cologne. This could be it for him. Man, on a 1-11, it is long, and it is gone. Chase Headley, another 2-run home run, and I think this is going to be it for Cologne. They may let him finish this out, but Headley goes yard. And the Yankees take a 5-0 lead. Now, they're going to let Cologne finish out the inning, but man, he has given up 2 big 2-run home runs. 1-8. 1-6 would be a double. Romine is 0 for 2. Can he get... Yeah, and another 1. Goodness gracious, what's up with this? What's up with this D20? This is going to be the last one. Let's see. So we're in the 5th inning because Cologne is still not tired, but he should be. Hicks now with Romine at second and a 5 on the D20. 2-8. strikes out. That will end the inning, but Cologne leads off the next inning, so they will, or leads off the bottom of the inning, but that's 2 runs again. 5-0 Yankees are on top. And Bartolo is not going to be given the opportunity to hit for himself here. Against a lefty, they will this early, they will go with Diaz to lead off. This is in the 5th. Early exit for Cologne, who was borderline ineffective there. Sabathia will keep going. D20. Yeah, Mike McAllister gave me the heads up. It was a 1 on the D20. Yep. So, unfortunately, the Mets have run into some trouble here. Diaz will lead off against Sabathia. 2-10. Ground ball to first base. Unfortunately, it couldn't have been a low number. Instead, it had to be the unlikely high numbers. Now let's hold off there. We may double switch there to try and bring in. Let's see who are the. I got to take a look at the Mets, who they have available. Give me a moment. I have to decide whether we're going long reliever or short reliever. Henderson played last game, and Verrett. So Henderson's not long. Verrett is. Blevins, Reed, Familia, Bastardo, Robles. They're going to go with Bastardo, and they, depending on how far around they get here, they may leave Diaz in. We'll see. Curtis Granderson. He struck out and walked. 6-5 against a lefty, and he strikes out. I don't know. That may end up being it for Granderson in this game too. Neil Walker. 6'8", 6'8", batting from the right side. Well, that's something. 1-10 double, 11-20 single. That'll be a double for Walker with 2 outs. For the Mets, it hasn't been getting the runners on. It's been getting the runners home. And so here's Asdrubal Cabrera with Walker at second. 2 down. And a 1-5. And he strikes out. And so, through 5, it's 5-0. And the Mets have to make a pitching change now. And they dropping stuff. They will not use Diaz. They will. What did I do with that pitcher's hitting card? Oh wait, it was Cologne's card. There's his pitching card. I need to get his. Yeah, we'll just get one of these as a placeholder. Never mind. So Cologne is done. They're going to bring in Antonio Bastardo. So this is where things get take a little longer. So they're going to go with pitcher 2 here. And he is a +5 hold. Very, very poor holding runners on. And let's see. He went to Pittsburgh, I believe. So I have to look at Pittsburgh's, and he's a 1 injury guy. So he's going to face Sabathia. Sabathia's got another inning in him, at least. But probably just another inning. I got to try and... I'd like to try and match up these pitch counts as much as I can. But, I don't know. I'm not sure how realistic the pitch counts actually are in Strat PC. All right. 4-6. He's batting from the left here. 4-6. And he draws a walk. Walking the pitcher is never a wise move, especially when you're leading off. Brett Gardner. And another walk. And so Bastardo is... So Jacoby Ellsbury. He will swing away. 2-8. And a single to left. Well, Sabathia lumbering around. He's going to just hold up at third base. And the bases are now loaded with nobody out. Bastardo. I think the Mets are... Now, the Mets are going to have to go to their bullpen here. They've seen enough of this. Bastardo is leaking oil already, and they've got to try and keep this from going completely in the doghouse. So they're going to go to... They're going to go to Addison Reed here to try and level things off. And let's see. 0 injuries. So, again, apologies for the breaks, but if you're used to watching baseball, you will be used to commercials, and it's kind of what we do here with the changes and stuff. So the Mets, they're going to have to move the infield in here. Are they? Yeah, they'll move the infield in. They're going to try to get Castro to ground out, and they'll take it home and try to prevent any more runs from scoring. It's 5-0. Bases are loaded. Top of the 6th. 3-4. 3-4. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Addison Reed comes in, and he puts up an absolute ball on a tee for Castro. This one is long, but it is not gone. But it is a double. Oh, he gets the 20 roll. Of course, now is the time that we get the... On a 1-18, we get a double. But that's going to score Sabathia. He'll score Gardner. And... let me see. Got to go to runner advancement. I got to make a check here because I recall something. They weren't holding anybody on. Super advanced. I feel like you always use the lead runner, but I think that in this case, we're just going to hold Ellsbury at third. So two runs for Castro, 2 RBIs, and it is now 7-0. Addison Reed, I thought he gave up the tater, but so Gregorius second and third, nobody out. He could bunt here potentially, but they're going to play They're going to play the infield in again. 7-0. 6-8 against a lefty. Fly ball to right field B. That'll be a sac fly. That scores Ellsbury. And so that is your first out. But an RBI for Gregorius. And it's now 8-0. Castro gonna just have him stay at second there. Teixeira. And a 2 on the D20 means we check for possible passed ball or balk. And passed ball it is. Need a 1 on the D20 for that. And it's a 2 again, somehow. This D20 is kind of messed up. Teixeira. 2-5. He strikes out. Second out. Chase Headley. 1-9. And a 1-3 single chance. Should get them out of the inning, but... Huh! I'm about ready to take this die and put it in the fire. That is a single 1-star. Not to root against the Yankees or anything, but that D20 may not see the end of the day here before it becomes a pile of whatever, burning stuff. Romine. 5-3 against a righty. Ground ball back to Addison Reed. 4, E0. And a 9. And the play is over. The play is good. Third out. See, 3 runs. It's 8-0. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th. Can't bring in Matt Harvey. He has a headache. Well, he probably has a relief. No, he doesn't have a relief rating here, but all right. Well, we may have to cruise along here. Sabathia, this is probably his last inning. David Wright against Sabathia. He's done nothing. 4-8. 4-8. Sorry, it is a strikeout. It's not a strikeout. What am I doing? Getting all confused. He's a right-hander. 4-8 is a fly ball to center. Let's get it right, Earl. Cespedes. 5-6 against a righty. Ground ball to short. And d'Arnaud. 4-9 against a righty. And a single for d'Arnaud. It makes him 1 for 3. Eric Campbell. 5-5 against a righty. And he strikes him out. And I don't know. I'm not sure if we will keep going with Sabathia or not. I'm trying to decide. I will say this. Here is the thing that is interesting to me. And so I've been watching some. This is my suspicion, and it's always the way I felt when I watched Tabletop's games back in the days of I forget what he called it, but he added a Hall of Famer into a bunch of teams, and the Yankees were one. And this is the way that I always felt. I always felt like Stratomatic tried to seed them with a lot of really good like fielding ratings to try and help them. That's just my impression. And based on, I have, this is the third game I've played with the Yankees. And my impression of them from the way they played last year compared to what's playing out here makes me think that there may be some inaccuracy to the game. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I have to think that Stratomatic gets a lot of guys buying the game in the New York area. So maybe, I know I'm a conspiracy kind of guy, but it's interesting that all of these guys, and it seems like every year they've got a bunch of guys that are 1s and 2s, and everybody else got 4s and 5s. So now Sabathia is a 4, but I guess you've got to be a 300-pound guy in order to get a 4 lumbering around. So, but let's see. So it's 8-0, and we're going to the 7th, and Sabathia has pitched 25. I think I'm going to have, let's see, what did we do here with Reed? He went a full inning, so it's the 7th. We're going to double switch just because we can. We'll bring in Lucas Duda since it's past his point of the 7th is when a guy needing rest can come in. So they got Hicks and then a pinch hitter and then Gardner. So a lefty's probably not a bad idea. We'll bring in Blevins. Did Blevins pitch last game for them? No. All right. So we'll put Blevins in there where Campbell was. We'll go P4. Actually, no. So this is going to be Jerry Blevins. So, I mean, maybe the Yankees are just this so excellent at range and fielding and all that stuff that they just never. Let's see, what do they got here? I mean, I guess, I would imagine if I play A-Rod at first or third, I would have to just automatically give him a 2 because he's a Yankee. I mean, okay, Beltran had a 5. There you go. Ackley's got a 4. There you go. There's some 4s. Okay, so it's not just. It's just their starters are always awesome in the field. I guess they just are. They just do a great job of scouting. That's really what it is. So, Blevins, what was he? 0. 0, and then the hold +1 and +2 is +3. So, run all day, Yankees. And let's see. So we're going to put Duda here in the 9 hole. And I'll probably get some hate mail from Yankees fans who feel aggrieved that I might think that their team can't catch the ball every time. There we go, in the 7th. All right, so here we go. So Duda is going to go in where pitcher spot is. And then we've got Campbell coming out because he made the last out. And he was, 0 for 3. All right. Campbell, go to the showers. All right. I put my discard pile on the... There we go. What do you say here? Earl, I sound bitter. A little, maybe. I guess I would like a good game if I'm going to take the time to play it, but it's not turning out that way. It's just the way it goes sometimes. Can't help it. Aaron Hicks. And with one of the he's got a really bad left-handed hitting card here, and we get a 5, of course. 5-11. Ballpark home run. Against a lefty, he is normal power, so 1-11. And that is going to fall short. That is a fly ball that is caught by, who is that? Granderson. 1 down. Yankees will pinch hit. And since I feel like we really need to use A-Rod as much as we can, because we're probably gonna fall short of every DH's plate appearance total. We really need to pinch hit with guys like him and others that are pure DHs. Probably need to pinch hit with them a lot. So in the 7th inning, he'll pinch hit for Sabathia. See if he can take Blevins deep here. 3-8. 3-8, and he strikes out. I might bring A-Rod in to play the field just for the heck of it, just to spite Joe Girardi. Brett Gardner. 2-5. 2-5 is a single. And with that +3, well, you know what, with as somebody hits that not like button. Yeah, sure. Yeah, let him. That spurs me on. So with an 8-run lead, we're not running with Gardner at this point. Ellsbury, 1-5. 1-5 a walk. Now what? Wait, it costs $5?
Well, I'm not talking about buying it. I'm talking about downloading a sample on the Kindle. It's gonna cost money to download a sample. It costs money to buy it on the Kindle. I'm not buying it.
Don't worry, Larry. Those people were going to hit the down arrow anyway, probably. So, Starlin Castro, first and second, 2 outs. 2-11, ground ball to second base. And that's it for the top of the 7th. No runs. 1 hit, 2 left. We will go to the bottom. And Sabathia is out of the game, and they will bring in, I'm going to go with Anthony Swarzak. Try to get a depth guy here, a little bit of time here. New York Swarzak. It's going to be up here. He's a 3 injury. I mean, I shouldn't feel aggrieved because it's not like the Mets are my favorite team either. But it just you like to play. I like to have some suspense, and this game has not really had a lot of it. The Mets the Yankees just sort of poured it on, and good for them. I mean, a lot of games in a season, and typically speaking, so it started 1-0. Typically speaking, I mean, we're playing such a condensed season here that it's really tough to say that one team is that dominant. or this or that or the other. So it can just feel that way, like I said, because we're only playing a smattering of games compared to the 162 game season. So, all right, Swarzak will get a chance here against the Mets. See if the Mets can start hitting the ball or if they will continue to falter like they have. Lagares against Swarzak. 5-11 against a righty. Ballpark home run. Normal power. 1-11. And it stays in the park, and that will be caught by Brett Gardner, and that's the first out. Lucas Duda in his first action of the game at the plate. 4-6 against a lefty. Strikes him out. Curtis Granderson, 0 for 2. 1-6, ground ball to the pitcher. 1-2-3 for Swarzak. Nice inning out of him. They will probably keep him in unless they hit around. And they're going to gas Blevins here for another inning since I forgot to mark that he started that, but he let's see, I did take A-Rod out, by the way. So I will use him one of these days in the field, but not in this game because I didn't do it. So I forgot to put P2 here. He's going to bat right there. No need to do a bunch of twisted double switching and stuff like that. So Gregorius against Blevins. 6-4 against a lefty. Ground ball to shortstop. Shortstop is Cabrera, 3-E-8. And 3 and a 4, that's probably a single. And it is. And then the E8, and you got a 17 there. That's an error, a single and an error. That's the exacta there for Cabrera, E6. It's a good thing that the Yankees don't ever have 3 E8s. No, I'm just kidding. That sounds better. Teixeira, another 5-11 against a righty. Ballpark home run. This may be it for Blevins. Teixeira, well, Teixeira's weak against lefties, so this is a single, or 1-11 is a single. 1 star, wait, no, 2 stars. That's going to score the run. RBI for Teixeira, 9-0. Yankees getting, so that means that Blevins is tired. We're just going to go ahead and keep going with him here because 3-9, ground ball to shortstop. That'll be a 6-4-3 double play. That gets 2 quick outs there. And Austin Romine, with nobody on base. 1-7, fly ball to left field, which will complete the 8th. 1 run on 2 hits, nobody left, thanks to the ground ball double play. And so, let's see, that they will not use Blevins again. That was pushing him to the limit. See, the Mets, they can't use, I was going to say, will they use Familia? But I think they'll use Hansel Robles instead. But we're gonna go Swarzak here in the bottom of the 8th. I wrote the 1 on the wrong part of the card. So here we go. Neil Walker against Swarzak. Bottom of the 8th. 9-0 Yankees. 5-7. Batting from the left. 1-4 single. And that will be a ground ball to first for the first out. Cabrera. Been one of those kind of days. I've also been up since 8 o'clock, so 6'9". He's not a 4, he's a 3. 6'9" against. That's not a strikeout. That could be a 1-3 single, and it's not. That'll be a line out to second for the second out. And David Wright, he is 0 for 3. And a 112 ballpark home run, 1-11. Will he get them on the board? No. And, well, I'll tell you what, that's a potential robbing situation here, and I need to look at Citi Field. So he's a right-hander, so that'd be left field. What's the fence in left? 8. So, yeah, we have a robbing situation there because it was 1-11. And it is a situation where it's either a home run or a catch, and it's not the last number, it's the, let's see. So it's the first number in the out range, right? Yeah. So, let's see. Right-handed batter, center fielder. And so in center field, it's also 8. So, what we do is we look at the center fielder who is Ellsbury. He is a 2. So a 2 means a 1-7. We re-roll the D20. 1-7 is a home run. 8-20 is a flyout. And guess what? It is a home run for David Wright. Some, what do you want to call it? Consolation prize as he goes yard. It is now 9-1. Hi, Al, Red Sox fan. I can feel your pain with this result. 9-1, bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. 5-8 against a righty. Ground ball to second base. And Castro with a rather maudlin 3-14 for a Yankee. But it's a 3 on the D20, which is going to be a single. And then 14 on the E14. No error. So it brings up Darno, who is 1 for 3. Can Darno keep this inning going? 4-7 against a righty. Strikes out. And they cannot keep the inning going. I thought we were going to get to the pitcher spot, but we didn't. So 1 run. 9-1. And the Mets are going to they're going to bring in Robles. Now the question is, do we Now they're going to just bring Robles in here. Because if we make a double switch here, it doesn't make any sense, or doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because number one, the comeback is relatively unlikely. Not to mention, I'd rather have the flexibility to use a different hitter than. Now we could bring in a different hitter and then we could bring in Wilmer Flores, for instance, and then bring out David Wright, put the catcher up here, or the pitcher here. The catcher here and then the pitcher there, or something like that. We could make it work, but it doesn't really make much sense. So Robles, so 1 injury. Blevins went 2 innings. 9 batters. All right. So we'll just go with the straight substitution pitcher. Yankees will get We're gonna get Tyler Olson up. How about that? We'll get a bench hand ready to go. So, and we will bring in big dogs if anything tragic happens. So try to get Olson a little bit of action here. He doesn't have much time. We can bring in some other guys too later on into the team. Aaron Hicks will face Robles, the righty. 2-9. Strikes him out. Pitcher spot. They will go with they'll use Dustin Ackley. 9C. Yes.
Why is that thing up there?
Huh?
There's a bug right up there. I want that to go away. It's freaking me out.
I don't see anything.
It's right there. No light.
Under it?
Yeah.
No.
No, there's something in it.
Right up here. This?
Yes.
Chill out.
There's something.
Nothing you can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. Okay, Ackley will be up against Robles here. 3-7. Fly ball to center field. 2 outs. Brett Gardner. Brett Gardner is 2 for 4. 3-11, and that will most likely be his 3rd hit of the day. Oh, but he gets a 16, which is a line out to second. So the dice aren't true for the Yankees that time. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Yankees will need pitcher. It's going to be Tyler Olson. One injury, and he is a -1 and a 0. So -1 hold. Swarzak went 2 innings. He did give up the one run there. So he's going to face the bottom of the order. He's going to have the pitcher spot, and then Lagares and Duda. So the lefty Olson will face, let's see, who do we got? This is going to have to be Wilmer Flores. So Flores against Tyler Olson. I'll make sure to lift the card up here so you can see it. It's one of these computer cards. So against the lefty Olson, Flores. 5-7 against a righty. That is a double with 2 stars. So Flores gets on the bases with that. It'll be Juan Lagares now. .28 against a lefty. Ground ball to third base. The runner will not be able to advance. That's 1 out. Lucas Duda. .15 strikes out. Duda struck out twice. That brings up Curtis Granderson with 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. 9-1. And a 2-3. Runner in scoring position. That's going to end the game. That is going to be a pop-up to the second baseman. It's Castro, and that is going to be it. Tyler Olson comes in and pitches a modest 9th inning to close it out. 9-1 is your final here at Citi Field. The Mets drop 2 of 3 to the Yankees. Pretty dominant in this game. They had some very good performances here. 2 for 5 from Gardner. 1 for 2 from Ellsbury, but 3 walks. You got a 3 for 5 from Castro with a double, and let's see, 2 RBI, 3 RBI for him. Gregorius 2 for 4 with 1. Looks like 1 ribby. 1 for 5 to Shera. Not such a hot day there. He did get an RBI though. Let's see. 3 for 5 for Chase Headley. That's your player of the game right there. Home run. Hicks almost as good of a game, but he had a home run and 2. Let's see. 2 RBI there. With a home run. 1 for 5 for Romine. 2 for 5 for Hicks. Double. Home run. So, and who cares about the pitcher spot there? That's it for the Mets. So let's see. Let's add that up. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 by my count. No hits down here. 15 hits. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hits for the Mets. There was an error here it's right here, Cabrera. Any others? I think 1 error for the Mets, and I don't think the Yankees had any. So, also so I mentioned earlier one of the things when I adjust my score sheet, I'm going to move this over here. I think I'm also going to shrink the size of this and leave a spot for left on base over here, so that way I like to add that because I think that's somewhat informational as far as, I mean, you should be able to figure out if you take runs versus hits. If a team's got 9 hits and 1 run, you can tell they pretty much left a lot of guys on base. I think that's pretty decent rule of thumb. Your winner is CC Sabathia. Loser, Bartolo Colon. He had a rough outing here. He only went 5 innings and gave up 7 earned runs by my count. Is that right? Yeah. Wait. 5 innings and 5 earned runs. You got 3 of the earned runs that are charged to Antonio Bastardo, who didn't get an out and put 3 guys on. So, no saves, no nothing like that. We could have left Swarzak in there for another inning, and he could have picked up a 3-out save, I guess. Maybe I should have done that with him. That would have been too kind, I guess. All right, yeah, and apologies for, I mean, you're going to get some candid opinions from me. Whether or not that is the case, I'm sure that they do the very best they can to keep things on the up and up. So it's just some games are going to play out favorably to one team or the other, and this one definitely played out favorably to the Yankees. But then again, I told you before the game the Mets lineup was a bit depleted. They didn't have Duda in there, who is a power hitter. Now, granted, his card isn't very good against lefties, so you have that. There was also Conforto wasn't in there, another lefty. So you have 2 lefties that they had to drop, which probably not the worst thing in the world when it comes to facing Sabathia. So, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you can overanalyze these things. It's just when the dice roll, someone's going to, probably one team is going to get hard luck, and if both teams get pretty good luck, then you get a close game. If both teams get bad luck, then you get a close game, and that's just the way it goes. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let me check the comments here. You're welcome, Al, for that. D20s, yeah, it's probably still stuck somewhere here on 1. I could roll it again for you. That was a 5, but that's okay. Does Strat provide wall heights? No, it does not. I have a site called, if you go to, there's a site called Clem's Baseball. That has the heights for the walls. Now, it doesn't have, I don't think it has all of the retrospective heights. So sometimes teams will change their wall heights midstream because either, you can imagine, if the wall is, if they're giving up too many home runs and they can't lure in free agent pitchers because everybody's cranking the ball out of the park every single time, they may try to adjust the wall to help. Other places, like in Colorado, what they do is they try to load the ball up with moisture to try and keep it from getting, make the ball fly, a little heavier, won't fly as far, all that good stuff. Not sure it's really helped much. All of Colorado's ratings still end up being pretty good, I think. And I'll make one last reach across the aisle here. Yankees fans, nothing against you guys, nothing against your team, and most of all, nothing against Stratomatic. It's a game, and I think I was mostly frustrated by the lack of competition in the game here. It wasn't a very competitive game. It pretty much was a blowout, and when you get blowouts, I wouldn't say it makes for great TV. I'm sure that everybody who watched would say that's okay, and maybe I would too. But I guess it's because this is the third time I've written down the Yankees' defensive ratings, and it's like you have to go into their bench to get to 3s and 4s. Well, not 3s. You get Starlin Castro, but 4s and 5s, you have to take a bench player usually to get it, or Beltran, and it's a little weird. But I'm sure if you analyze their WARs and stuff, it's up on the up and up. So, all right. So this closes out Game Day 3. I'm going to try and wrap this up here with just a quick bit about Game Day 3. What we have here is we have a bunch of, what we can do is bring up, that's not what I wanted. I want this. The Pirates go to 3-0. We saw that yesterday in the game. They beat the Padres for the third time. You then have Oakland, the Yankees, the Marlins, and the A's all at 2-1. Then you have Toronto, the Mets, Detroit, and Baltimore at 1-2, and then San Diego at 0-3. So that's your early standings. I'm not going to be able to put the updated standings here for you at the moment, obviously. Now, the one thing I can do is bring this out. Let me see, do I have... What we'll do is I will switch this back over again and zoom this in. So your next series are going to be this. Detroit faces Toronto up above the border. The Mets go to Baltimore. The Angels go to the Padres, so they just drive down the coast a bit. Pittsburgh will head up to, so they come cross country to Yankee Stadium to face the Bronx Bombers. And the Marlins, they started at home. They will go the opposite way and go out, and Oakland will get another series at home, and they'll face the Marlins. So you have a couple of 2-1 teams here. You have 3-0 versus 2-1. You've got 2-1 versus 0-2. You've got 1-2s here, and you've got 1-2s there. So That's what we got. I don't know exactly. I have to look at the schedule in Strat PC because I like to try and do these in order so that it's easier for me to enter them in order, because I can't guarantee. Whoa, boy, you don't need to see every blemish on my face. I can't guarantee. No, this is why I had zoomed it in some for that other picture. I can't guarantee I'm going to do. I like to do usually 1 to 2 a day, and so if I do them out of order, then I have to wait until they're all done sometimes. And so anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been the TBL on Tabletop Baseball. Check back for Tabletop Earl. I'm sure he will be playing a game later. It sounded like he had something in mind, whether it's the League of Domination or whether it's another project that he has swirling around there. So, and now that we have the first series out of the way, maybe I'll think about this Phillies replay again. Anyway, thanks a lot. Strat on, guys, and have a